So you've got this idea, right? Something you're convinced could really make a difference, but you're just not sure where to even begin. Well, that feeling, that's exactly where almost every great venture starts. In this explainer, we're going to map out those first absolutely crucial steps to turn that passion for change into a real business concept that actually has a shot at working. Okay, let's get into it.
This quote, man, it just nails it. It gets to the very heart of what we're talking about today. There's this huge myth out there that amazing businesses just pop into existence from a brilliant product idea. But the reality is so much more grounded. They start with a deep, almost obsessive focus on a real problem people have.
All right, so where do we start this whole journey? Not with a product, not with a spreadsheet. We start with impact. In this first part, we're going to explore why wanting to create real value for people isn't some fluffy, nice-to-have thing. It's the actual bedrock of any business that's built to last.
Okay, this is it. This is the big one. The first, most fundamental question you have to ask yourself. Before you even think about a feature or a price or a name, just stop and answer this. Seriously, this isn't just a feel-good exercise. This question is your North Star for the entire journey. If you get this right, everything else starts to fall into place.
And look, notice how broad these are. They're not business ideas yet, not even close. They're missions. Making fashion more sustainable, supporting mental well-being. The goal right now is just to define the change you want to see in the world. It's all about the why, way before you get to the what. You know, a lot of people see impact over here and business over there like they're two totally separate things. But they're not. They're the same thing. Creating meaningful value is the business. A strong company is just an engine that lets you deliver on that impact, sustainably and at scale. Okay, so you've defined your impact, your big mission. How in the world do you turn that into a specific business idea? Well, it's time to zoom in. In this section, we're going to break down a really simple formula for turning that mission into a concrete concept you can actually work with. Believe it or not, the formula is super simple. You take your impact, you add a specific person, your target customer, and you connect it to a specific problem they're dealing with, their pain point. And that intersection, that sweet spot where those three things meet, that's where a real business idea starts to take shape. Check this out. Look how it works in practice. The huge impact, make fashion more sustainable, becomes something super concrete, a clothing rental subscription for young professionals. Or help students manage stress, narrows down to a digital platform for college students, specifically during that crazy exam period. You see how that focus just sharpens everything immediately? Okay, listen up, because this next part, it is arguably the most critical stage in this entire process, and it's where so many founders crash and burn. They get so excited about their cool solution, their app, their product, and then completely skip this step. But defining the problem? That's everything. Get this wrong, and you're building on quicksand. So what makes a strong problem statement? Well, it's never vague. It always has three key ingredients. First, who is facing this problem? Get specific. Second, what exactly is so difficult for them? And third, why are the existing solutions just not cutting it? This structure forces you to have crystal clear clarity. I mean, look at the difference here. It's night and day, right? Students are stressed. Yeah, true. But what do you do with that? It's not actionable. But the strong statement, it tells you exactly who to go talk to, college students in exam prep, and what they're missing. Something affordable, fast, and that they can use every single day. That specificity gives you a clear path forward. And hey, please, do not stress about getting this perfect on the first try. In fact, you should almost expect to be a little bit wrong at first. The goal here isn't to be right, it's to have a hypothesis you can actually go out and test. Writing two different problem statements is great because it lets you explore different angles and opens you up to discovering something you didn't expect. This whole idea of discovery and testing leads us right into the lean startup philosophy. Its entire purpose, really, is to prevent the single biggest, most common and most heartbreaking mistake a founder can make, spending months or years building something that nobody actually wants. This is the mantra. Seriously, write this down, tape it to your monitor. Your job in the beginning is not to be a builder, it's to be a detective. Your problem statements are your clues, and your job is to get out there in the real world and see if they actually hold up. As you're out there learning, everything you do needs to answer three simple questions. And that's it. Number one, is this problem I think exists actually a real thing for people? Two, okay, even if it is real, do they care enough to want to fix it? And 3, if I built the perfect solution, would they actually use it? These 3 questions will make or break your entire venture. And you know what? If the evidence you collect tells you the answer to any of those questions is no, that is a huge win. That is not failure, that's a successful experiment. You just saved yourself a ton of wasted time and money. A pivot, which is just changing direction based on what you've learned, is the smartest thing you can do. It's how you win.
So you're probably thinking, okay, great in theory, but how do I actually do this? How do I test my assumptions? Well, let's open up the toolkit. In this section, we'll give you a bunch of simple, powerful methods you can start using, like this week, to get real answers from real people.
Here's your starter pack. It all begins with customer interviews, literally just talking to people. Then you can use surveys to see if you can spot bigger patterns. Try just observing what people do now to solve their problem. A simple landing page can test if anyone's interested. A basic prototype can get you feedback on a concept. But the gold standard, the absolute best proof? A pre-order. Asking someone to pay for something that doesn't even exist yet is the strongest signal you can possibly get.
Okay, that was a lot of theory, I get it. But progress only comes from one thing: action. So let's wrap all this up by focusing on exactly what you can do next to turn these ideas into reality. First, just remember what you're really building at this stage. It's not a company. It's not even a product. It's a set of mindsets. You're building your curiosity muscle. You're practicing real empathy for your users. You're learning to love experimenting and to make decisions based on evidence, not just wishful thinking. That's what this is all about.
All right, here's your homework, your action plan for this week. You can do this. Get that impact statement down to 1 sentence. Pick a user, write 2 problem statements. Think of 1 simple test for each. And then most importantly, get out of your chair and talk to actual human beings. That's where all the answers are.
And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? This is the final takeaway. You cannot sit in a room and think your way to a successful business. It's impossible. You have to learn your way there, 1 conversation, 1 little experiment at a time. Every action you take moves you forward. So I'll leave you with this one question. Forget about products for a minute. Forget about company names and logos. What is the one problem that you are so passionate about, you are willing to become the world's leading expert on understanding it? Start right there, because that's where all the great companies truly begin.